Hey guys, Pancakes here with the game of Team Deathmatch on Terminal. And today got a game where I used the TAR-21 and the perks you can see on the screen there. And I joined this game a little bit late, and I really don't like joining games that are session in progress, and I absolutely hate doing so. And most of the time, I usually just leave if I see it's session in progress. And the reason why is because you don't get an idea of kind of what's going on. If you join a game from the beginning, you can generally get a good idea of what direction the team will be going, and so you can kind of set up for that. If you join a game that's session in progress, you don't have that. And there are games where I join that are session in progress. I just turn one corner and boom, you get killed by some guy who obviously wouldn't have been there had I joined the game from the beginning. And this is obviously very frustrating. And I don't like playing this game and getting frustrated, and so I try to minimize that frustration as much as possible. So if I join a game that's session in progress, I just leave. And I know that sounds bad, and it sounds like I'm some sort of try-hard quitter, but in all honesty, I play this game for fun, and when it stops being fun, that's when I stop playing. At least I try to. Sometimes I have pretty bad self-discipline and I keep on playing, which only frustrates me more. But as a rule of thumb, it's a good idea to stop playing once you start getting frustrated. And in terms of, Terminal itself, this map can be tricky because there are a lot of flanks. Where I am, it's very easy for the enemy to take the glass hallway or for them to use the airplane to get behind me. They might just spawn there even. And so you really have to keep your eye out. It's a pretty tricky map, and it's very easy, like I said, to get flanked. And so you really want to keep an eye out on the radar. What's a radar? The radar. And keep an eye out on the radar. See where your team is, because a lot of the times, if your team is kind of grouped on one side of the map, you can get an idea of where the enemy would be, which would be obviously where your team isn't. It only gives you a rough idea, but it can typically be very helpful in keeping your eye on that and keeping track of what's kind of going on around the map. And so I'm really just kind of playing it safe and being defensive. And I know a lot of the time defensive players get a bad rep, and I personally do not believe that this game was intended to be some sort of running gun shooter. I really don't. And I know some people will disagree with that, but the fact that you can die so fast and that there are so many hiding spots leads, it basically is really obvious that this game was meant for defensive players. It really was. If it wasn't, campers wouldn't be nearly as big an issue as it is. And I don't like that. I don't like camping. I don't like, when I'm playing a game where there's a lot of campers. It isn't fun, but that's just kind of how this game was designed. And you don't have to camp to be successful, and so I don't camp. But that kind of goes to show why defensive play is so effective in this game. And like in Halo, if a camper tries to shoot you from behind, if you're a good player and the other player isn't so good, you could very easily turn around and take him out. This game, not really. Because usually if the camper knows how to aim, you'll already be dead by the time you manage to turn around. So, it's a very different kind of game. It's a very tactical game, and even then it's still very frustrating because there's a lot of gameplay mechanics that I think are kind of broken, such as the spawns. But all in all, this game requires a lot of patience. It really does. It kind of reminds me of poker in the sense that it's more about picking your spots and, choosing when it's smart to, be aggressive and choosing when it's smart to just kind of wait back. And, choosing your spots is incredibly important. And I feel that impatience is one thing that gets a lot of people killed. And, when you get impatient, you start rushing more, you start getting killed, and then you start calling everybody a camper who is, playing smart, who isn't running around and putting himself in bad situations. And so if you keep your mind on that, that will hopefully help you improve your game. And other than that, this video is about over. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.